And we are back with another episode, an important, a crucial episode of the AC Milan Zone podcast. The boys come victorious out of San Siro, which was popping, and man, did it feel
It
good
was.
to hear the stadium go crazy once again. Huge win, a suffered win because of the red card and everything that we'll get on shortly. But Ozzy, thanks for joining me. How do you feel after we beat the reigning champions 2-1?
Yes, no, I feel honestly it's so nice to be doing these podcasts again, especially now that we're winning and also the manner that we're winning and also beating the reigning champions at home 2-1. I shouldn't say easy, like you just said. The red card did mess up a few things, but I just want to tell you that I think it was about 4 5 years ago we did our first ever podcast after a Napoli win, if I'm not mistaken.
That's wild.
After as in like after beating Napoli. I
Mm-hmm.
think it was our Scudetto winning season. So it's great to come back on here and talk about the Allegri masterclass.
Yeah, honestly, not that the game could have gone definitely many different ways. There is some criticism about Conte, who comes out obviously with a loss. Most importantly, some people were talking about some late or questionable subs. We saw a little bit of a heated Kevin De Bruyne coming
Yeah,
out. And obviously, as we always say, winning cures everything, and the same exact thing. Losing is worse. They scored a penalty and then they draw the game, or they end up winning it with De Bruyne off, and none of it matters. But of course, they lose, so all of this creates a little bit of crack, and you just start to wonder. Could this be the first little problem that Conte's squad have? He is a great, in Italian we say condottiero, a great leader of men. But your biggest star, who just came, starts having some problems after you sub him yet again. Um, Conte fired back. I don't know if you saw this. They asked him about KDB being angry, and he said, if he's angry, he's not the right type of man for me and my team.
yeah. I think he said
Strong
something like
words.
if he's angry at me, then yeah. He said something about he should be angry at the score line or something like that. Then it's fine.
Yeah, again, probably ended up being nothing once, maybe they win in Champions League, they win the next game, it goes over. But you start creeping a little bit of doubt, and there could be some interesting developments from the Napoli squad. But us, we came out with the exact formation that we thought. Um, Maybe we can just jump straight into the game. I thought it was very interesting. A lot of the normal Allegri stuff, in terms of pressure, very targeted pressure, get the ball to one of the two center backs, specifically Mazzocchi, who was sort of a last minute introduction to the Napoli lineup. Press at the right time, then fall back, don't leave any space, and then attack heavy on the counter. I thought it was very interesting. We'll talk more about this on our Instagram page soon, so tune in. Conte sort of really tried to pack in the middle, to try to counterattack our great midfielders, and we saw a lot of space on down the flanks,
Yeah.
that we exploited right away. It's hard obviously to talk too much about tactic when you score 2 minutes in, but here's where we need to talk about Captain America.
Captain America.
Incredible run. Great turn down the line, saves it.
Did you see how close that was from going out as well? I think it was like a third of the ball was still on the line,
Yeah, all
almost.
of it was close. The turn was almost intercepted, then he
Yeah,
almost keeps it in. Then he gets a touch in just to get past the slide tackle.
Marinucci. Yeah,
And
it
then
was perfect. It
after
was perfect timing as well of everything.
yeah.
Like just the whole run. And I think he even started sort of in the almost near Salamakers before we got the ball, or something like that. I think it
Yeah,
just
it's like a
went
J
across the
shape.
whole pitch, across, and then up to the box. And yeah,
And I mean after so much distance covered sprinting, the patience to not just ever look at goal or look at something Jimenez, who was heavily marked, but
yeah.
see Saleh come back post, perfectly weighted ball, and Saleh slots in the
and
back of the net.
and I think I mentioned this the last part we were talking about it, that finally when we get to the box or to the final third, we seem to know what to do. Now this was been more of a counter-attacking in a way attack, but at the same time, Pulisic doesn't make it obvious that he's going to pass it there. He sees Salamakers making a run. Salamakers is making that run. And Jimenez doesn't occupy that first post whatsoever. Kind of not really drops back, but doesn't hog that area in front of the goalkeeper, and it just perfectly gets played across. And seems like every player knows what to do, both defensively and on the attack, which is a breath of fresh air for us from
Yeah.
last season, where it just was one big mess. I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels you're 100% right. Like nothing is casual, and we have the
Yeah,
proof of this because it happens all over again. We see it in many goals, but also in the second goal, we see that either Rabiot or Fofana consistently making that second run, late run into the box, and yeah, this is just clear tactics. They get applied well. Um, After the I was gonna say Pulisic goal. In my mind, it's pretty much a Pulisic goal, but the Salamakers goal. Obviously, we start being compact and fall a little bit more behind. Um, this I'm curious to pick your mind because in general I don't mind. I think this is something that we saw, for example, Inzaghi do very well, and what he found success with Inter was, they weren't just a catenaccio team that just fell back, but they weren't a pressing team all the time. They weren't gegenpressing. It was a team that read the situation very well, and when they knew when and they wanted to press, but they also knew when they wanted to have 11 men behind the ball.
yeah. So
And
they were sort of on the line of doing either or, but knew exactly what to do when the transition happened. When they knew
exactly,
that either, I don't know, Darmian got the ball or one of the wing backs, Dumfries, they knew exactly where everyone should be, and everyone was in the right position essentially,
yeah.
for the counterattack or the press or whatever it might be, or having to defend with 11 men should you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought that they always went between the two very fluidly and all together. Everyone was always on the same page,
Yeah,
and that's what's allowed them to find success. I feel like we're aiming for sort of the same thing. So obviously, after the first goal, we started to fall back a little bit, and then went on the counter. I thought that was working quite well. We saw a huge chance that Fofana puts. It looked super high, and then you see the replays, and you're like, okay, that's actually
pretty close.
pretty close. Should he have done
Yeah,
better? For sure. I was talking with some people on our page who were saying, oh, get him out of here. It's a big sprint. You get there, you shoot it. I
and
don't
he's
know.
not known to be good at shooting, right?
Yeah, and again, he
Yeah,
doesn't sky it. Of course, you want to get on target, but, it was this much off the crossbar. I'm not upset.
yeah, and
He's going
it was
top
a bit of a
ins.
it was yeah, it was a bit of a timing thing. He doesn't shoot in the right moment. He probably could have taken one more touch.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of on his weak foot, right, on his left
Yeah,
foot. And like you say, he's just sprinted the whole pitch. He's maybe even waiting for Jimenez to try to make a run, because he seems to sort of not drop back, but doesn't really continue on with Fofana in
mm-hmm.
order to get the cheeky pass across the sweaty goal from back in the day on FIFA 14. And I think what Fofana did to redeem himself was that beautiful deft touch for the Pulisic goal.
Yeah.
So
And again,
and
same.
he ran his heart out
Yeah,
the whole game. Well,
same.
the time he played.
Same situation again. Beautiful counter attack. This time, they were trying to again pack the middle and take us man to man. How do you beat that? Again, not dissimilar to Inzaghi's Inter. We saw so often Bastoni make those runs to be completely marked. This time it was
Yeah,
Pavlovic. Would I have any idea that I would be talking about how Pavlovic broke the Napoli man-to-man press by driving the ball into their box and creating some
no.
mismatches? No, absolutely not. But that happened. He did well once again. So I can be upset. And Fofana,
And I
beautiful
think
touch. In the box there, you can panic, you can shoot, hit a defender, just try to get a shot off. Beautiful touch off to Puli, who slots it
the
home.
time I feel like it's the time that Allegri has had off, so to say, when he's not been employed by, obviously, whenever he left Juve, he's had to sort of refine his tactics, see what the more modern take is, probably even study Inzaghi, because we know that they finished top two in the last 4 seasons,
Yeah.
either won it or came second. So yeah, this, everyone, we were talking about this terrorist football that Allegri was going to bring to Milan. It's somewhat different now, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, we create a lot. And again, this game is kind of
Yeah,
tough because you look at the statistics and you're like, okay, you didn't create a lot at all. But you have to take into consideration you score after 2 minutes, and you're great on the counter.
Yeah,
It's part of Allegri's game plan. Again, he's not Guardiola, so that's
Fofana had a
always,
good chance.
yeah. Fofana had a great
There was that
chance.
there was a corner that Pavlovic kind of tried to not really bicycle kick it, but he kicked it away when Jimenez was
Jimenez
just
was
in
right
behind.
there. Yeah.
That's
Uh,
not a complaint, but
and then of
that could
course,
have
then
been
you had the
easily a
red
good
card
chance.
that
Yeah,
killed sort of the game, so we knew what were gonna happen after that. But we created chances, many chances this game. We created a ton in the games before, and this is all with a striker that maybe wasn't so Allegri's number one choice and missed a fair few chances. Um, to get back on Fofana, and then we'll talk about the red and the second half. I got a lot of comments, of course, and when we post the starting formation and during the game about get Fofana out, how does he start over Ruben Cheek, or how does he start over Ricci? And look, I like Ricci a lot. I hope he gets more playing time, but I feel like Fofana is being disrespected here a little bit. Don't
he
get me
is.
wrong. Do I wish he was better on the ball? Do I wish he had a much better shot? For sure. But right now, the balance that Allegri struck with the three of them, being Fofana,
Yeah,
Modric, and Rabiot, it's just perfect. You don't see so much of the hard work that Fofana does covering for Modric, covering for Rabiot, and it works. The three of them works so well, and he does
yeah.
so much
Why
dirty work.
change? Why change a winning recipe or winning formula? Like just like you say, off the ball, Fofana is doing a lot better. I think even in the very first game we had of the season against Bari in the Coppa Italia, I was saying that Fofana seems to even have lost a few kilos. He seems a lot more athletic,
Yeah,
and we're not asking him to be a playmaker either, which was a bit of an issue last season when Rangers was pushed up a bit more further up the pitch and he was playing with Musa or Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the midfield. Just like you say, that balance with Rabiot, Modric is doing his thing. Fofana sort of does, I shouldn't say, yeah, like somewhat of the dirty work. It just works. So why would you want to change it?
yeah,
And I agree, would be great to see Richie, but Richie and Fofana aren't the same type of player.
absolutely.
It's more Modric and Richie, and right now you can't be taking out Modric, or rather playing Richie over Modric.
Yeah, so it's as simple as
Yeah,
that. Things change,
unfortunately.
team will adjust, we will need to change. Players gets injured, player need to
Yeah.
get rested. Richie will get his time as he should. But right now, yeah, I just wanted to address that because I got in a lot of conversation with our fans, which were interesting. It's not that they're everyone's entitled to their opinion, and we're very happy to always engage. But I thought that was interesting. But going back to my original question that I had to you that I never actually asked you, we started already seeing in the first half dropping back maybe a little bit too much. Of course, it's Allegri. He wants to limit the shots he attempts, to limit obviously the goals in the end for the other team, in this case Napoli. But we already started seeing in the end of the first half, okay, we're dropping off a lot. Napoli was starting
We
to figure
were.
out how to move the ball wide to then bring it back in the middle, and we started conceding some chances. Um, that was a little bit of a premonition to what's to come. Magnan, I thought, had a good game. He was called upon a fair few times. Of course, didn't save the penalty, but you can't really blame him for that. But back to his prime form and build us out a lot. And then we sort of started second half in the same way. Do you think that we were maybe a little bit too low before the red card? This is so end of first half,
Before the
beginning of
red card.
second half, that we were just dropping and being a little too conservative, a little bit too defensive.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe the plan all along was to counterattack because that is somewhat of an Allegri tag in terms of copyright, and we know that Juan Jesus hasn't played a lot. I don't think for Napoli. Marianucci this is his first game of the season,
Yeah.
other than Italy under 21s. He played the full 90. You could see that he was out of position. So I think maybe it was maybe dropping off a bit too much considering we know that Napoli, their centre midfield with is it Anguissa, Lobotka, Kevin De Bruyne, and McTominay, they can work wonders. But maybe it was something that they, with they that we scouted or Allegri had scouted that if you just take out Hoylund, keep the midfield three just blocking those through balls, then we're more than fine, and we've got two very tall center backs
Mm-hmm.
holding off Hoylund because Hoylund did absolutely nothing this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not.
as
Not
we
trying to shit
honestly,
on him, but
yeah, no. I mean,
yeah,
as we talked about last podcast, right? He's a good player, but he's been, and I mean, some of it comes down to style, not just him, style of play for the whole
yeah,
team. But he's been pocketed a few times. Sometimes by good defenders like
yeah.
Bremer, sometimes you can stake a Gabbia. Um, and I don't mean that to say Gabbia isn't great. In fact, I think Gabbia is massively underrated, and I don't know why he's not getting called up because I think he could be the center back that Italy needs. Just kind of take him out of the game. They were using him more, they were never getting there, and we were so low that he had no space, so they were more using him to throw the ball to Hoyland and then try to get,
And, and maybe
a
even that
bounce
was
back.
the game plan, because Hoyland, when he's got his back towards goal, he's not very good at all.
Yeah,
And Man United fans will say the same. I can remember he barely played for Atalanta back in the day, a few seasons ago. But Hoyland, if he doesn't have the space and can't run on balls and is facing the wrong way, Hoyland is completely out the game.
yeah, yeah,
So maybe that was the plan, because they know that, yeah, long shots from Kevin De Bruyne, the odd run from Politano, maybe that's somewhat more is that somewhat easier to control, rather than having to have Højlund running behind, trying to expose Pavlovic or Gabia,
yeah,
probably on the run, rather than Tomori, because Tomori is faster.
yeah. A little bit faster. Yeah, no, agreed. I did think, yeah, sometimes the counter attack and defending was fine with me, but yeah, just some more attention to detail in terms of just dropping sometimes a little bit too low.
But it
For
was also our first big test of the season, I would say,
true,
right?
yeah,
Udinese, I thought mentally, like before the game, we thought, it's going to be a difficult game,
yeah,
but not necessarily the standard of
yeah,
Napoli, of course.
absolutely,
So
you're
this
right.
was our first big game, or first big test. Obviously, the reigning champions. It's not going to be like a Roma or Lazio, which is somewhat below them, maybe.
Yeah,
So maybe Allegri was trying. He didn't want to expose Milan too much against the reigning champions,
yeah,
because it was our first proper game,
yeah.
in quotation marks.
And again, at some point, you're going to concede chances. You put trust in a very good goalkeeper. You put your trust in good
Yeah.
defenders. And again, it worked. We could have scored even three. Maybe we could have conceded one. But in the end, we scored another one.
Yeah.
So I understand his point of like, hey, look, limit shots from the outside. Keep it wide if they can cross in to the one striker that they have. We live
Yeah.
with that and we go on the counter. Before we talk about the red card, because you were talking about Fofana being so looking skinnier and more in shape. I don't know if you saw this picture of Alexis Salamakas, which I'll put up on my phone. I know, terrible production, but I didn't have it ready
Oh,
until now.
his
Let's see if
is
my
that not
camera does
altered?
work.
Is that not altered?
That is, I mean,
Sure,
it's
surely that's
edited
altered.
in terms of like the colors, but that's
Yeah,
just straight up in mid flex. This is Baschirotto level biceps here, from our
true.
Belgian boy.
It almost looks like you, I'd say,
I
personally.
wonder if he's getting it's pictures circulating now.
He's
He's getting a
juiced up.
little check his water bottle, see what sort of
How much
supplements are
back
in
acne
there.
does he have? Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. He's not natty at all, bro.
no.
But then, of course, as we said, the Napoli pressure that was started in the end of the first half continued. We concede a big chance. This was maybe only Alexis' fault. Not really his fault. He's not known
I have
for
that on the notes.
for his aerial prowess, but big swinging cross. They started doing that a lot from one side to the other. I don't mind if you get beat on a header if you're Alexis Salemakers, but he just moves out of the way,
Yeah,
and that wasn't great. Ball is left in the small box there. Who gets fouled? I'm blanking right now.
Di Lorenzo.
Di Lorenzo, thank you. It has a shot and goal, and Pervis probably pretty stupid. It's always tough to judge, that happens in a split second, but
Yeah,
that could have cost
I
us the
don't.
game.
Oh, the red card, you mean?
Yeah, that decision, right?
Yeah. I mean, my issue isn't necessarily Estupinan going for the decision of pulling him down. A lot of people were saying, like, why did he do that? They should have just let him score. Just find that bizarre. You're going to try to have the penalty saved. It is a red card, first of all. Let's put it out there.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with the ball. It's a clear goal scoring opportunity. The whole jeopardy of, penalty and red card, that rule doesn't necessarily apply here, or doesn't apply here at all, because
He's not going
Pervis
for the
pulls him
ball.
down. My issue with Pervis here is that how are you not ready to pounce on that ball and marking Di Lorenzo. I mean, he is somewhat fast, but not. He's also their wing back ish.
Hmm.
So how are you coming second to that ball in the first place?
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's my only issue with him,
Yeah,
with that situation, really.
yeah. I mean, I see the comments as you said that say, hey, look, let him score, and that probably does make sense. But in the heat of the moment, the ball is there. Like those are things that
And
happen
it
in
wasn't.
a split
Yeah, it
second.
wasn't. It wasn't that much of a pull, to be
Yeah.
honest.
He tried. It's not that he,
Yeah,
emphatically pulled him down. He tried to, throw him
yeah,
off balance a little bit and see what he can get away with. It obviously is a penalty. Was always going to be a penalty. And then, yeah, since he doesn't make a play for the ball, it's hard to argue that it's not a red. Um,
yeah,
I agree with you. Obviously, the problems are before. Why isn't Pervis ready to cover Di Lorenzo and shield him off from a rebound? The cross, allow him to come in. Perhaps why Salemaker is there to be, when we had three center backs to begin with. Why does he move out the way?
yeah,
Those are the little details that sort of went wrong. But you feel like if they had just scored and not got the red card, not got the penalty, just scored, you still like your chances. We were creating just as much or more than them. Definitely better chances.
yeah.
Game plan
Could
stays the
have used
same.
Liao in a better way, even, right? Because
Yeah.
he came
Leao would
on
have been
and
up there
as the
by
only striker.
himself.
Yeah,
Pulisic stays on, or anyway, we're not a man down. You have a force up
yeah,
top. You feel pretty confident, but instead, of course, it's a red card. It's a penalty that KDB slots away easily, and now we're looking at 30, what turned out to be 40, really minutes down one man with only one goal advantage. Did you think we're taking this home at that point?
no,
Yeah, for me,
no.
not a chance. Like I
I was
was
really nervous. I'm
confident.
like, 40 minutes of Conte football one way. Um, First time we were being tested in a big game. Getting a red card, which we haven't had this season yet. Um, Having Leao come on was, it was a bit dodgy. I just thought that the legs of Rabiot and Modric were gonna uh, were gonna end because they ran so much.
Yeah,
But pleasantly surprised. I think Conte. I think, like you said, he was criticized for not making the changes a bit quicker, a bit earlier on in the game. Um, but yeah, I wasn't thinking 2-1 for Milan. I was thinking 2-2 or 3-2 for Napoli. Genuinely,
yeah. I would have been pretty confident on betting on a non-Milan win. Just so
yeah,
much time. A little bit of a gut test for our players. It's things are easy when you're winning and you're in control, but now you see what players are made of. You add to this that you throw in, to make up for the red card of Bartezaghi. Salemakers wasn't 100%, so very soon after that we saw Tekame come in. They both did well, but they were definitely playing on their tippy
Atakama
toes.
was he looked really nervous. It's not really his
Yeah,
fault. He's what, 19. He's coming on against Napoli.
yeah,
He's hasn't gotten a lot of game time necessarily. Still probably adapting to Italy in general.
yeah,
He looked shaky, but end of the day, tactics worked. Everyone left everything on the pitch. There wasn't, apart from Leao, which I don't know, we can get into. I thought he looked a bit lazy at times
okay,
defensively.
interesting.
But yeah, I'm very happy with the 2-1.
Yeah. I thought, but Tizaki did better than Tekame. I agree, but also made a couple mistakes. Yeah, both were very nervous. Tekame got a few balls that he could have kind of chased and shaky first touch. Again, you could see the
Yes,
nerves,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, Natekame, Bertazagi came on 59th minute, Natekame is 68th, so 9 minutes after, and you're like, okay, we're down for half an hour at least, one man to Napoli. We have Atekame and Bertazagi on the sides. There's no way we're winning this. But as we said, we became very, very compact. We let them play, overloaded one side, the left side, and sort of let them play because they didn't have a true winger. Of course, Conte replies to that by putting in true wingers. So we saw him sub in Neres and Lang together with Luca to get him some height. This is where obviously McTominay comes off, which is interesting. De Bruyne came off also for Elmas. This is the big Conte controversy. And we get away. And I thought we showed great spirit. There's that
Definitely.
That that situation where
Grinta.
we saw like three,
Oh,
four bodies hit the floor as the ball is just in the box or at the edge of the box, couple shot fakes, and they're just trying to find a little bit of daylight to let the ball go. And they're just players, Pavlovic, Modric, Gabia, just diving, just dead bodies
I think
just
it
standing in front of the ball.
was it? I think, yeah, it was an Elmas who took like it's not fake shot, but it was just cutting across by the
Mm-hmm.
penalty spot. And I think the replay, you see Rabiot sliding in from one side and Pavlovic already lying
Yeah,
behind him, or was it Gabia?
yeah,
And that spirit, right? It's
yeah,
wanting to win. We'd dug our trenches outside our box, and we didn't let any shots go on target from inside the box. Almost, it felt like
yeah,
Mignon made some very good saves. He was back to
absolutely.
his prime, even though they weren't. I mean, they were good saves, not spectacular, but he pushed them out. There wasn't any single point where I felt Mignon could have stopped the rebound, or he let it go out for a corner. Everything seemed very controlled. Mignon was back to his Scudetto winning Mignon today, or Sunday.
Yeah, I would say that he's top three man of the match. Finishes in the top three for us.
Yeah,
Obviously,
him.
Pulisic gets the goal and assist. Hard to deny him.
Yeah,
And then I'm curious to see who your third name is.
probably Modric or
Yeah,
Rabiot.
yeah.
They
I would
just
go there
seem
too.
not to. They're never going to lose the ball for us in a
Yeah,
stupid way. Obviously, if there's a through ball that doesn't pay off, or miscommunication, maybe, but never sloppily lose the ball away.
yeah. And look, the red card happens, and it sort of reminded me when Napoli faced Man City. Red card happens so early, and it made sense that KDB would come out there, right? The only one that's offensive, that's not going to track back. It's a little bit old. That's not going to last anyway all
He
that time.
looked
Um,
he looked very slow and
yeah,
immobile, if that makes
yeah,
sense, or
yeah. No,
on
absolutely.
no agility
Did
whatsoever.
not
I'm
look
one to
3 years
speak,
younger
but
than Modric.
no. Now I kind of understand why Man City wanted to let him go. To be honest, maybe it's different tempo, different training. Kevin De Bruyne has been there for what 10 years, knows Guardiola, but I was not shocked, but I was pleasantly surprised because I thought it was going to be better.
Yeah, but as I was saying, for a second I thought, okay, red card, we put Barentezag in, but soon enough Modric comes out because maybe you say, hey, look, maybe he doesn't have 90 minutes already, but now everyone needs to play, more than one player to make up for that loss. Maybe you take out the 4-year-old in the middle of the park. Allegri didn't, and boy was he right. I mean, it felt like Luka Modric was running more than anyone on the pitch, either team. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
crazy. He was pressing the goalkeeper to try to bring us up high in the 95th minute. I
He was
mean,
covering Bartisagi at some points. He was just everywhere.
I mean, role model, just unbelievable.
Yeah, he was like prime
Unbelievable.
Makelele.
I am, yeah, just constantly so impressed by him. Obviously, we saw the big celebration from him as the final whistle went off. This is a man that has played a handful of Champions League finals, has won a handful of Champions League final, and we saw him in the fifth, sixth game of
He's
the Serie A
he's
season at 40.
he's won almost as many Champions Leagues as we have.
Yes. And,
As a
and and we and
yeah,
we saw him just drop to his knees and let out a shout.
if
Uh, and
yeah,
and it trickles down. You see, you think of maybe a player like Richie who could ask for more time. You see Fofana, you see Rabiot. You look at the 4-year-old next to you who just does nothing other than
I
run.
think I, th- I think that's what Allegri was saying as well with the Rabiot signing, that it brings competition to that midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Jashari being injured so early on, we'll see what happens when he comes back. But yeah, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has to bring a level up in order
Yeah,
to play. Richie needs to show that he's ready to come on and either change games or wait until there's squad rotation, which
yeah,
isn't great. I'm sure Richie is probably a bit upset because I mean I'm not sure when the Modric signing was made was confirmed, but I'm sure Richie was thinking, I'm gonna walk straight into that midfield
yeah.
and play
And he
90
did
minutes a
for the
game.
summer, so no. But
Yeah,
again, it makes it easier when in front of you is this 4-year-old man who's just sacrificing
yeah.
himself literally, and you're like, okay, this guy's a Ballon d'Or. This guy is arguably the best midfielder in the league. Maybe I keep training hard and by my time, and I think that just helps us.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and I mean that's the end of the game. Super important. 3 points, of course, brings us top of the league. You're looking more and more right on when I asked you yesterday or last podcast if you think we would get 4 points or more between Napoli and Juve. We get 3 here, so all we would need is a draw. We'll see
And
what happens there.
Juve dropped points against Hellas Verona, right? 1-1 draw.
That was the week before. They dropped points again this week. They played Atalanta, and they
Atalanta,
draw
sorry, that was the
1-1.
one.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
And yeah, and did not look good in terms of game style. Again, Tudor, they have some quality and they have a lot of fight, as we saw, but they don't play good football.
Yeah.
And
And they're
sometimes
playing
that's
tomorrow
fine.
again.
Sometimes we don't play good football, but we show something and they really don't. They play tomorrow again. That's absolutely one to watch. Bremer came out not looking great. I don't know if he'll play tomorrow. And I think also Cambiaso. So we'll see. We have a whole week to rest. We saw Tomori obviously got subbed. He will be day to day for Juve. I haven't heard anything about Salamanca, so he should be fine, and I hope. You want to talk about Leao? So before we wrap that up, let's do
Yes.
that.
Okay.
He came on. Let me have it. What do you
Yeah.
think?
No, I know he's been out for, was it 40 days? He only joined the team on last Tuesday in training. We know he got put into a position after, well, with 10 men as the lone striker. I just thought sometimes, again, I'm not saying it's the end of the world. It's certainly not the beginning of last season. But sometimes I think it was Modric had to have a go at him, saying, you know what, you have to come back and help us.
I didn't see
Because,
that. Okay, interesting.
yeah, I can't remember what minute it was. But yeah, I wasn't expecting Leao to score or to make too many chances, but I felt like he was walking around a bit as soon as he came on, got a bit of a wake up call maybe, and yeah, let's hope that doesn't come back, and hope he follows suit from the rest of the team that are fighting for 3 points there. That's my only comment about him.
Okay, interesting. I
Well, I
didn't.
wasn't expecting too much because he's
Yeah,
been out for so long, needs match fitness. It's coming in against Napoli with 10
yeah,
men,
and he was
but
alone.
hopefully
Yeah,
we don't see it again.
yeah.
Hopefully we don't see it again. And
Yeah. I mean, we saw the hilarious, time where the only time he was kind of thrown into space, and this is definitely Napoli remembering the damage it has done in the past, and also a
yeah,
clear sign of Conte team of the whole running backwards.
7 players was
Immediately,
it?
yeah, 7 players run around him, and it's like, okay, maybe
Ruben Loftus-Cheek,
Pragao before they catch
30
up.
meters away.
Yeah, before they
Yeah.
catch up, can take the first guy and have a shot. But yeah, it was always going to be tough. I didn't notice it so much. I definitely saw him walking around a little bit. I didn't notice a few times where he was pressing and running a little bit. I need
Yeah.
to go back. I didn't see Modric having a go at him, but
I think it was Modric. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that wasn't like a massive
yeah,
shouting
yeah, but
fest,
just
but
like
like
a little sign.
wake up. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll be interesting. As I said, not that Santi Jimenez lit the world on fire in these games, but it'll be interesting to see how him and Pulisic, who played mostly on the left side, again where Rafa will be, even though if he's playing more central, will be in these next games. Obviously we know that Rafa Leao gives more than Santi Jimenez in terms of quality. There's no doubt. But the fit will be very interesting. And I assume, I don't know, now he has hopefully a whole week of training. He got his minutes here. I don't know if he's got 90, but he's probably should be good to go unless something happens to start
Yeah.
against Juve. And so, yeah, we will have to see how that fit goes. Yeah, and now for the first time in a very long time, we can say we are top of the league. Of
Playing good
course,
football as well.
yeah, playing good football, playing solid, feeling confident. Of course, we're tying with obviously Napoli and Roma, and 1 point ahead of Juve, ahead on goal difference. But you have to feel good. All of them will play Champions League or Europa League for Roma. You have to feel very good. Obviously, for us, all eyes on the Juve game. Let me put that on the screen.
Another Sunday 8:45 kickoff, right?
Yes,
I do
another
love those.
Sunday 45. Yes, primetime TV.
Yeah.
We'll see how they do against Villarreal. Hopefully, it's an intense game and they have to run a lot. Do you like our chances? I mean, well, we can get into predictions later on, but just in general,
Yeah, I mean, we have to feel good, right?
yeah,
Like you said, against Atalanta, Juventus weren't playing good football. They're playing against Villarreal. Bremer came off. We'll see about Cambiasso. So Leao is coming back probably to the starting 11, or at least has another week of training. It's hard to not feel good.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think if we were feeling pretty good against Napoli and we back that up, obviously this one is away, but I don't see Napoli being at the moment worse than Juve in terms of squad, but also in terms of just
yeah,
manager. I back Conte more than I back Tudor all day. So it'll be very interesting. If I feel like we've officially put our name as able to challenge for the Scudetto. We'll see if we can carry out throughout the whole season. But if you were to bring a result, a win away from the Juventus Stadium, now the
into the international break, which would be huge, I think, for
yeah,
morale and yeah, no, I'm feel confident to this game. I don't know if you want to go into predictions, but uh, yeah, I think I'm above 4 points. I still stick to it. I'm gonna be thinking a win here as well.
yeah,
I think we can maybe start to talk about the starting 11 for next game against
hmm,
Juventus. I think it'll be exactly the same, minus Jimenez, minus Estupinian, of course. Bartisagi comes on,
yeah.
plays that left wing back role, and Leao plays with Pulisic up top.
Yeah, I would say so. Given that everyone healthy, we need to see about Tomori, of course. If it's either Tomori,
Yeah,
if it's not Tomori, it's the Winter. Let's go to say, as you say, Bartesak will
and
play there.
When the Winter came on, I looked at some of the stats. He had like 4 aerial duels won. That was more than any of the other centre backs,
Yeah,
and he had like 5 or 6 clearances, which
yeah,
is perfect
yeah.
in
I'm ve-
towards the end of the game.
I think very solid. I think the only problem we have is that we have one sub for those three positions. So let's say Tomori goes down, and now
Yeah,
you have no one else to call upon. But obviously, knock on wood, hopefully nothing like that will be needed. But yeah, no, I liked the Winter too. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, Bartezagi, I think, especially knowing that it will play and will play from the start, that will probably help. And he looked pretty good. I'm not too upset. And Pervis was doing better and better and better until the red card each game. So bigger shoes
yeah,
to fill, but not, you're not, it's not massive. And then, yeah, we see Leao up top. That obviously brings a new element. I don't know. I can't even begin to guess who will play for Juve. They've tried, they have
no.
6 great players up top. They've tried any sort of combination between the three.
I
So
think
we'll just
Kefren
have to see.
Turam is one of the only players that you can say is playing, right?
Yes, yes, and I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
if
and Yildiz
yeah,
maybe. I
if
don't
he
know. You
has
never know.
a very light, if he's a little tired on that day and needs to take a seat on the bench, because I like him a lot. I think he's
Yes,
unbelievable.
yeah.
I think the CDM times specifically are some of the most underrated in Serie A right now. I think we have some of the best in the world. Cornea Roma is unbelievable, almost like
Mhm.
Kante-esque in terms of just everywhere, but also the quality going forward. Turam has been so good. People will shit on Fofana, but I like Fofana. I guess Modric is playing CDM, different type of CDM, not really a
Mhm.
ball winning. Although he's been having a lot of interception because he plays that role in the Allegri's press.
Mhm.
Yeah, Serie A has got some midfielders, and this is without even bringing up the good ones that maybe aren't having the best season at the moment. Your Barellas, your Çalhanoğlu's. I mean, Lobotka and Anguissa should get a shout here. Some
Mhm.
very solid midfielders in Serie A. Yeah, then maybe we can just do prediction unless you have something else.
Predictions. No, I think that was it. I feel confident going into Juve. Great to be top of the table on goal difference, but still, it's looking good. Your prediction for the Scudetto is looking brighter and brighter. We
I
are only
know they
five
call me
games,
a
five
fool
Serie A games in,
after the
but
Cremonese, but
I
I
see,
knew it.
I see Swiss Ovi with a 3-1 prediction in the chat.
Three
I assume
one.
that's for Milan.
Yes,
I'm
yeah, he
gonna be
says 3-1
saying,
Milan.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be saying if it's alright to go into. Do you want to start with the predictions? 'Cause I went first last time.
True. Also, you did. I forgot you were reminding me pre-stream. You did get it right. I'm gonna go and clip and put that on the
It's
story. I forgot about that.
it's starting it's
Uh,
starting to look good for us as a
Tonight.
podcast. We are
Yes. Yeah, I know. I feel like
ball knowers.
I feel like we never did, or we got it very rarely. Um,
Because last season we were just so hopeful for a win, and we just shut the bed every game.
yeah, I
Oh,
feel like Juve is
well,
conceding a fair amount.
yeah.
So maybe going against us, they'll play a bit more defensively. But if Bremer is in there, I see us scoring. So I back the thought of Swiss Oil with the 3-1. Um, we don't concede a lot. We got this penalty, and Napoli could have scored earlier on. After that, it's not like they created a whole lot of chances, and obviously there was a lot of pressure. Is there a clean sheet away from home? Is tough. Honestly, I'm gonna bandwagon Swiss Ovi here in the chat, and say 3-1. The more I think about it, the more
3-1.
it makes sense. Away from home, do they sneak in a goal? They have a lot of power going forward. I think they do. Um, I think they can fall asleep a lot. They've shown that they concede a lot. We are on fire. You bring in a little bit of spice from Rafa. I like 3-1.
3-1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't been conceding a lot, but we're going in to play in Torino against Juventus. I'm gonna be I'm gonna back the boys at the back and say 2-0 Milan win.
Honestly, I like it. Again, it's not that we don't just concede, but we don't concede a lot of chances and shots.
Yeah.
It's not yeah, it's a very fair prediction. Um, I don't have any trivia for you prepared tonight, but maybe we can do
Maybe
just
during the international break, maybe we can set up a draft slash trivia. Maybe
draft
one of
trivia.
both. We could
Yeah,
see. We could
speaking
see.
my language. Yeah, I mean, we don't even need to Twitch it. Just give me a glass of wine and just hop on a call and let's just do some Milan trivia for me and you for hours. Um,
That's a dream for a 28 and 29-year-old.
yeah, pretty much. And then early to bed.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's see if you remember the Milan Juve, either in Milan or Turin, going back a little bit. We won't do too many because it's very unfair. But we have the first,
Oh yeah.
the last one, 18th of January last season. We're playing Juventus at home. Do you remember who won that game or the scoreline?
No, honestly, I can't. Generally, I'm trying to
It is
1-0.
honestly, I removed this game too. It is a 2-0 Juve, Mgula, and then Wea score in the second half. I feel like I've removed a lot of last season. I'm pretty good memory usually with Milan scores, but
It's just a Super Coppa, the odd
yeah. Do you remember the Superscoppa score?
3-2 for Milan against Inter. Oh, against Juve.
Against Juve, semi-final.
2-1, wasn't it?
Correct. Another that was the two famous two comebacks.
Yeah.
Obviously we go down with Yildiz. Please, Yildiz, go on vacation just this weekend. I feel like you need to go back to Turkey, get some home air before you go to the national break.
Hopefully
scared.
Erdogan wants to give him a medal for his great Turkish citizenship or something. Please go do that in Ankara or Istanbul or wherever.
And then in 4 minutes, we took over Pulisic penalty and got Tio on goal. Please do more of that.
Oh, that was a really comical one, wasn't it? The back back pass slash clear. What was it again? Was it a back pass or a clearance, or it was something really crazy, wasn't it?
Maybe I'm sort of.
It wasn't just like a. It wasn't just like a. I'll try to find it.
Yes, maybe it is the back pass. Yes. While you find it, and then we go back. Last season 0-0 in Milan. The season before 0-0 in Turin. Then a loss against Juve in Milan. So we haven't then club friendlies. We haven't won against Juve in the league since the 2022-2023 season, which has been a while. That season we actually won both. We won in Turin with Olivier Giroud, who's still going strong. Shout out to Giroud at Lille. And then a 2-0 in Milan. This was the famous Brahim Diaz goal, and Tomori to score the second. Did you manage to find a?
Yes. So it was Musa going out sort of on the wing ish, and he's trying to play it across, and Gatti just sticks a leg out, and
yes,
goalie is just sort of in caught in no man's
Musa was
land,
trying to do really, but Gatti
not really but yeah. So, but yeah, I think we could wrap it up here, and we'll talk. We're hopeful.
After you.
So you said 3-1 and with Swiss OV.
Correct.
I'm saying 2-0 for Milan. away at Juventus or in Turin.
Yeah, I haven't been that confident. I haven't seen the historical results. I'm like, oh, maybe we're too confident. But we'll leave it there. Thank you again for talking
Thank you.
with me about this. Thank you to everyone tuning in. Drop a like and subscribe. Again, should probably learn to do this at the beginning of the pod, not 50 minutes in. But yeah, we'll see you after Juve game. Forza Milan.
Forza Milan. Bye.